Alright everyone, this is another deck profile. It's based around Hit, the Universe 6 Assassin. He's one of my favorite characters from Dragon Ball Super. He's definitely in the top 5 for me for the characters that were introduced during Super. And I thought it was really cool to see him, fight Goku versus, Universe 7 versus Universe 6. And then in the World Tournament, so I thought that was really cool. Sorry, not the World Tournament, the Tournament of Power. I thought he was really cool in the anime. So let's get started. This deck is a mono red, so it only deals with the one color. Here's the leader card, and it's a normal 10k hitter. He has an auto though, where when you attack with this card, he gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So on his normal side, he actually is a 15k when you attack with this card. So that's not bad for a normal leader side, but it's the only skill he has on it. And his awaken is the normal 4 or less life, and you draw 2 cards. And then for the Awakened side, he has the same ability, but you get to draw a card with it. So instead of being 15k, he gets the plus 5,000 power for attacking to make him 20, and you get to draw a card with it. He also gets an added ability to where once per turn, if your opponent activates a blocker card, you can discard a red card from your hand into the drop area, and if you do, negate that blocker. So if you have a red card, which you are going to have, because again this deck is mono red, so you're always going to have a red card in your hand. So if they activate blocker, you can negate it by discarding a card. So that's pretty much the blocker, that's pretty much the leader. It's time to get into the deck. So this deck is kind of themed around Universe 6, like during the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 arc, where Champa and Beerus hold a tournament to see whose universe is better. So it only has the 5 warriors he chose from that arc. So to start off, we have a skillless Hit. I run 4 of him. He's a 15k 2-drop. I'll explain as to why I have him in this deck later on. When I get to a certain card, I'll go back to all the cards that I will need to go back to when I get to that certain card. Here is Lightning Fast Hit. I run 3 of him. So I run 3 of him because he is a card that can evolve from a normal Hit, which is why I have 4 of him in. But that's just if you have Hit already out and you have the energy to evolve. And the reason I run 3 of him is because you might not actually be summoning him out as much as you might think, even though this is a Hit deck. But if you do get him in your hand and you evolve, you want to evolve him because immediately, it's an auto ability. Once you evolve the card, it inflicts 2 damage to your opponent. So just by evolving him, inflicts 2 damage. And then he also has double strike, and he's a 25k. So while he is one of the main attackers of the deck, you might not see him as much unless you can get your skillless Hit out in time. So that is the main attacker. Here is the filler. It is Evolution Premonition Frost. He is a 1-drop, 5k, and he has an ability where if you pay 2 energy, you can look up to the top 7. If there is if there's another Frost card in the top 7 that you drew from the ability, you can evolve that card into him for free. So here is the Unceasing Evolution Frost. I run 3 of him, 15k double strike, 3-drop, and then Terra Assault Frost, 4-drop, 15k. And he has double strike. He also has an auto ability where if this card attacks a battle card and KOs that card, if your opponent's leader card is 10,000 power, less inflict 1 damage. So you want to try and get him out from Evolution Premonition Frost ability as best as you can during the beginning, because both leaders will be, or your opponent's leader will be at 10,000 until he can awaken. So you want to try and get Terra Assault Frost as best as you can from the effect of Evolution Premonition Frost. But if you can't, if you get the other one, then don't worry, it's not as bad, because again this has double strike and it's a it's a free evolution, especially if you don't have him in your hand. Here is the other one, Saiyan Kaba. Run 4 of him. This is the one where you can strike yourself to give him plus 10k and make some double strike. So if you can't get the Frost stuff off, you can get him his ability off to get yourself closer to awakening, and you have an attacker with double strike. So just more offense. Here is a card that can evolve from that Kaba, Raging Kaba. It costs 3 to evolve him. He also gets double strike, and this card gets to switch back to active when you evolve into him. So what you would do is strike yourself, make him 15k, attack with the double strike Kaba, then evolve into this Kaba because he gets to switch back to active mode when you evolve from him. So you pretty much get 2 attacks if you can pull off the evolution. Here is Mangetta of Universe 6, or Magetta. I always think there's an N in there, but there isn't. So he's just a 10k blocker. He's here for pretty much filler and another card that I'll be talking about. So he's just there for blocking. 2k, not 2k, 2 drop, 10k, my bad. Here is Confident Batamo. He is a 15k 3 drop, but you're not really raw summoning him, but you know, you can if you want to, but there's another card in here that you can summon him out for free, and I'll get to that when I get there. So what his ability is, it's a permanent, you can attack cards in active mode, battle cards in active mode, which isn't bad for a 15k card, especially when your opponent has a lot of battle cards on the field. I'll leave them right here because the card that's coming up is like the MVP of the deck, I'd like to say. This is Bewitching God Vados, and she has dual attack and then 20k. So turn 5, once you summon her, you can attack with this card twice, and every time you attack with this card, which is only 2 times, you get to look up to the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 alien with the power 15,000 power or less among them, and play it and shuffle your deck. So that's why I have, you know, Confident Batamo. I run 4 of him, and then I run 3 of the Magettas. I also run 4 of the 2 hits because you can grab him out with Vados' power. It's 15,000 power or less. It has nothing to do with energy. It's their power level. So if you find a card with the power level of 15,000 or less, you get to summon them out for free with the effect of Vados. So you can summon out this hit if you get them from the top 3. You can summon out any of these Frosts from the top 3 because the first one's 5k and then the evolutions are both 15k. You could summon out Kaba, and then you can also summon out the other 2. So that's why I have a lot of the other Universe 6 in here, because of this Bewitching God Vados. And I only ran 2 of her because she's a 20k, you know. The only way people are going to get rid of her is wasting energy for like an extra card, or actually trying to get rid of her with like battle power. And speaking of battle power, this is the super combo to boost the battle power up by 10,000. And this one works where, you know, if your life is 4 or less and your leader card is red, draw 1 card. So it's a simple super combo where it doesn't deal with sparking or like anything with your warp or anything like that. Then here is the negate of the deck, Vados' assistant. Negate the attack, then switch one of your battle cards to active mode. So unlike blue, where you get to switch a energy to active mode with Whis' Coercion, Vados lets you switch a battle card back to active mode. So you could, if you wanted to, which you probably will if you ever do make this deck, you want to attack twice with her, and since she'll be tapped, they might try to target her for the attack. Then you would just use Vados' assistant to negate the attack and switch her back to active, so she's safe. So yeah. So not bad for a 1-drop negate. Here is Kaba's Awakening. What this does is you get to choose one of your red cards. It gains plus 6,000 power for the duration of the battle. And I like this because it says red cards. It doesn't say battle card, leader card. You can choose any of your red cards. And since your leader and the other cards in here are just red, you can do it for anybody. And it costs 0 energy. So a nice little boost. And here's the 2 that I run, Untitled Destruction. And this one, what this one lets you do is you get to choose your opponent's battle card with 12,000 power or less in the battle area and KO it. So I run 2 of them because, you know, most people run barrier, and this is just the easy way to get some battle cards on the field that you don't want to deal with. So, you know, 2 1-drops to KO a battle card that your opponent has, 12,000 power or less. And then here is the last card, the extra card I run 3 of is Assassination Plot. They all cost 4. So if anything, you're probably charging 1 and then using the other 2. It's not bad for 4 because what you do is you get to choose battle cards on your opponent's side of the field that add up to 30,000. So you could kill like 5 cards with just 1 card. So Assassination Plot is pretty good if you can pull it off. So yeah, you KO all the cards that you chose that add up to 30,000. So yeah, that's how that works. If you can pull it off on turn 4, then, and if there's opponents that have cards that are kind of, you know, annoying to get around by battling, you can just use Assassination Plot to get rid of them. So that's about it for the hit deck. I guess now I can go over combos. So I already kind of discussed about it, where you summon out a Bewitching Vados, you have to like raw summon her because there's no other card in here that lets you like summon her for free. So when turn 5, if you have her in hand, you want to raw summon her. And then when you attack with her, you get to look up to the top 3 twice. So you technically get to look up to 6 cards. So when you attack first, you get to look for the first top 3. If you get Confident Batamo, Magetta of Universe 6, or Hit or Kaba, you probably want to go for Batamo because after you after you're done attacking with her, you have another attacker to attack battle cards or your opponent's leader card. And then on the second attack, you get to look up to top 3 again. If you get another Batamo, if you get Magetta or any of the Kabas or Frost. So it really depends on what's on your field. So say I had already evolved Frost on the field, I'd probably go for the Hit or a Kaba just so I could strike myself and get a double strike Kaba. And then, or I could get a skillless Hit that I could evolve into on the next turn. This deck is pretty much all about setting up, especially with the Vados, because say on your second turn, or say on your second attack with Vados, you get a Magetta, you want to try and get that, especially if you don't have a lot of cards on the field, because after you attack with Batamo, that's it, and then your turn's over. But since you got a Magetta, you have a blocker on the field, so that's something you could do. That's a combo. One to help you attack and another to protect you with the Bewitching Vados. You could grab, again, you could either grab the Kaba, strike yourself. If you have the Raging Kaba in hand, that's even better, because the next turn you can evolve into him. Or you can just go on the straight defensive, and if you do get 2 Magettas for the 2 searches, and just summon out both Mangettas, so then you have 2 blockers. So it's not bad, it's just I wouldn't say it's a hassle either, it's more not complicated. It takes a while to get set up, that's for sure. Not too long, but it doesn't take that long to get set up. It just takes a little bit to get everything where you want it. So like, I guess I could also talk about the starting hand. Starting hand, you probably want to have like Frost. You want to have Kaba. You probably want to have Raging Kaba. Some of the hits, probably 1 or 2 hits. And then that's about what you want in your hand starting wise, like unit wise, battle card wise, because you want to keep like the 15Ks in your deck for the Bewitching Vados, so you can always get something for free with Bewitching Vados. You don't ever want to have like all your 15Ks in your energy or in your hand, because then your Bewitching Vados card is pretty much useless. You don't get the free ability off, but you do get a 20K on the board, but you just don't get the ability off to get another card on the field. So you probably want to have that. You probably want to have Fickle Destruction in your starting hand, probably a Kaba's Awakening, maybe a Vados Assistant. So you want to also have like some stuff to charge. Unfortunately, you do have to charge some of your 15Ks, but what I'm trying to say is you don't have to charge all of them, because you want to have them in your deck for Bewitching Vados. So like you could charge the Raging Kaba, you could charge the hits, you could charge some of your Batamos, some of your Frosts. But yeah, what you want to be summoning out first is either Frost or Kaba, especially Kaba so you can get closer to Awakening, Frost to get better stuff on the board. So that's about what you want your starting hand for this deck. That's about it for the deck. That was Hit, the Universe 6 Assassin, and I'll see you in another video.